Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Saturday the 18th, Sunday the 19th, and Monday the 20th of November 2023. Took a couple of days off because of the international break. Not much going on, which you'll see in a minute coming up. I mean, I think everyone's been scraping the Joe Edwards barrel. We've been getting all sorts of news, talking to him about all kinds of things. I imagine in tomorrow's newspapers, they'll be asking him about what he has for breakfast and shit like that. It's getting a bit desperate out there, scraping that barrel. But before we get to that, tickets that many of you will probably be interested in it when the fixtures come out. This is probably one that you looked for first. Leicester City away, Leicester City away. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. It's about when the tickets go on sale, and it's going to be Tuesday the 21st of November. So by the time you watch this video, Mill travel to Leicester City in the Sky Bet Championship on Wednesday the 13th of December. Kick-off 7:45 p.m. Yeah, they put it midweek, like they would. And tickets will go on sale to season ticket holders from 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday the 21st of November. No bracketing, which is interesting. No bracketing. No loyalty point tiering. Just all season ticket holders from the 21st. Tickets will then go on sale to members, all members, from 9:30 on Tuesday the 23rd of November. Now, probably because this is a midweek game, they probably suspect that it's not going to get the day trippers because it's not on a day, it's in a night. It's a night game, so they imagine if they just, I guess the demand's kind of been sucked out of it, which is the point of putting these big games in midweek, especially on a cold December night. So not only that, but obviously this being a midweek game, it will be on Millwall TV visually, a video of it, live video feed will be available for £10. So that's probably kicking demand as well, seeing as it's 12 days before Christmas. So there you go. So they have an initial allocation of 1,293 tickets. So there you go. The big game that everyone wanted to look for before the fixtures came out, and as soon as they realised it was 12 days before Christmas and in midweek, they kind of went off it a bit. So, but if you want to buy a ticket, you need to be a season ticket holder or a member, and that starts tomorrow, Tuesday the 21st, and Thursday the 23rd if you are a member. Now, moving on to the scraping of the Joe Edwards barrel. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Our key players need time to breathe. Millwall head coach Edwards on his playing style vision. Joe Edwards has revealed more on his playing vision for Millwall. The new Lions head coach saw his team produce a big win 4-0 at Sheffield Wednesday last weekend in his first fixture since succeeding Gary Rowett. And Edwards spoke after his appointment about Mill's strength being as an out-of-possession side under Rowett. The former Chelsea and Everton's coach's career at the South London club is in its infancy. One game. As he looks to produce a new approach. Asked what that ideally looks like in the future, Edwards told the South London Press, it would be to have a little more of the ball than we do at the moment, typically. The reason I say a little bit is that, of course, I like to be a manager of a team who hardly lets the opponent have a touch of the ball, but I'm being realistic. What this league is now, the Championship, and where we are now, we don't need to start having 80% possession of the ball when you inherit the group that you've got, and they have been out of possession focus. There's some strength in that, and the fact that you can have your moment where you suffer without the ball, but you suffer well. You don't want to take away that real raw work ethic the lads have got. We gave them a game plan of how we wanted to be without the ball, how diligently they followed that plan and organised they were. It was really pleasing for a coach. I just felt from what I've seen in the past, and even at times on Saturday, there are times you put in all that hard work, you're organised and you wait to get that moment to win the ball back, but when you do, there are times that you need to pause, get a breather a bit and look after the ball, open the picture. Get your key players on the ball because they can control the tempo of the game or create those moments where you can hurt the opposition. You need to give those players a little bit of time to breathe. a little bit. I've seen certain players in the team really have to work without the ball to the point that when you win it, they can be sometimes a bit rushed or they're at their max, and it isn't easy to make that calm decision or show the quality that we need. Indeed, shots on target. So he's saying probably that they're absolutely knackered from doing high pressing and all that stuff when closing down. That when they do get on the ball and they do get like a chance on goal, that they probably snatch it a bit because they're too hyper about and running around like a headless chicken, which makes sense. There were spells on Saturday, but I'd like to see a bit more calm and quality when we've got the ball so we can create an attack. One of the big things we've spoken about in general is when we attack, and this goes hand in hand with this idea of attacking more gradually so we can progress up the pitch as a whole team, is that the break for George's Savile goal at Wednesday was fairly quick. Zion found Brook, but what I like is when Brook was making a run out wide, although he's busting a gut to get there initially, we had people really trying to support him. It wasn't a case of go on Brook, you go and do what you can and have a run of your own. But the big picture I want to see from us is that when Sav did strike it from the edge of the box, Wes and Coops weren't too far behind him. So we had pretty much our whole outfield team in the opponent's defensive third. And that's where we want to be. You get your moments like we did on Saturday where Sav produces the goods and volleys it in, but at times it doesn't and creates a loose ball or second ball. If we can get our whole team on the front foot and really sustain that pressure, particularly at the Den, that's what I want to see from us. Indeed, indeed, indeed. One of the things that sticks out in the mind looking back is Mark McGee's Millwall team playing the high line, including having a very slow Stuart Nethercott in the team, but still playing that high line, and we've never really seen that before from us, and not seen it since. But what are we going to get at the Den? Obviously, hasn't played a game at the Den yet. Had his game away. How are we going to set up at home under Joe Edwards? Ask him about that, and then ask him what he's had for breakfast. Here we go again. Like I said, more from Joe Edwards. This time from the southernnews.co.uk. We went through a lot together. Mill boss Joe Edwards reflects on life as Chelsea loan manager and keeping in touch with current and former Blues stars. The 37-year-old has had an intriguing coaching journey before becoming head coach at the Den. Joe Edwards has revealed how his time as Chelsea's lone player manager helped broaden his coaching experience. Having been under-18s manager and winning the FA Youth Cup twice, Edwards was then moved away from the training pitch to be the lone manager in 2016. The role gave the coach different responsibilities and allowed him to build a relationship with some of the many young players that Chelsea sent on loan during the Roman Abramovich era. Edwards told News at Den. Obviously at Chelsea you get to a point there was a lot of players at loan, and in those players there had been a lot of investment. So although everyone recognised it's important to get the lads out of the door and into a real world playing football, they felt it doesn't make sense to put all that work and support into them and then just send them out and leave them to it. So when you're a loan manager, it's all different things, from helping to select the loan in the first place. So when you've got good players, there's various calls coming in from clubs who want to take them. So it will then be about profiling the club in terms of style of play, what level of competition they're playing at, who the manager is and what his track record is like, to make sure first and foremost that it's a good fit for the experience and we want to get for each player. And then once they're out there, it's simply a case of visiting them to watch them train, see where they're living, see what the local area is like, to tick that box of helping them settle in, as that's a massive thing. The longer a player takes to settle in off the pitch, the longer you're going to take to see them producing the goods on the pitch. And then once you've done these things and they're on the pitch playing, it's just a case of watching their game and getting that balance between letting them do what they want to do. For example, Brook Norton-Cuffy, letting him be a Millwall player and live that experience. But at the same time, I'm sure there's people at Arsenal who have been working with Brook over the years and have certain conversations about certain things they want to see from him, linked to what they might want him to be as an Arsenal player one day. It's just keeping that connection so it's not out of sight, out of mind for a year. It's great for the players, but for me as well, I had a period before that when it was just Chelsea games, Chelsea teams, Chelsea players, doing all of that work as it was my job. I was all of a sudden watching Championship games, League One games, La Liga games, Bundesliga games, to follow all of my players. It definitely built my knowledge and understanding of different styles and a lot more throughout the year. The experience saw Edwards form close bonds with many young players, some of whom are now stars across Europe. He added, "Oh, I had a special journey with some of the boys: Tammy, Mason, Ikayu, Reece James, Conor Gallagher. Some of those boys I worked with at a really young age, 8 or 9, and again at 15, 16. And I was there at under 18s when we were doing youth cups together. And just by chance, as they were progressing, I kept moving up in the age groups at Chelsea and culminating in the first team. When we were going into Premier League games and Champions League finals together, that was special sharing that journey with them and seeing close up after all these years. I was making evaluations on them and thinking, okay, I need to help him with that, so he's prepared for that. It was nice to see it to come to reality, and I still follow them closely now. I've still heard from the names we just mentioned. I've heard from all those boys since joining Millwall. They'll text me saying congratulations on the job and then congratulations on the result of the weekend. So we went through a lot together, and there's probably very much a family feel there as well. There you go. Now we're moving on to the youth. Here we go. This is from. Okay, for some reason it hasn't loaded properly. Okay, we're gonna skip that one then. So we're still with the youth. It's on this one from southernnews.co.uk. It's about trying to impress Millwall defender Alex Mitchell on readjusting to new coaches after seeing his parent and loan club change manager on the same day. While Millwall fans were digesting news of Gary Rowt's departure last month over in Lincolnshire, young Lions defender Alex Mitchell was also having to deal with manager news of his own. Alex Mitchell is keen to keep impressing at Lincoln City, even though, like his Millwall colleagues, he's having to adjust to a new manager. Young defender left on loan Sincilbank in August and has been enjoying regular football for the League One club. But on the same day Gary Rowt departed Millwall, Lincoln boss Mark Kennedy was dismissed by the club, with the Imps installing Leeds United coach Michael Scabala as their new manager early this week. It continues an unfortunate theme for Mitchell, who has now seen managerial departures during his last 3 loan moves, but he's keeping his chin up and is keen to show his new coach what he's about. Mitchell, who turned 22 last month, told News at Den, Mark Kennedy, when he was the gaffer, was really good with me and the technical staff. I'd be lying if I said it was the ideal situation. That's the gaffer that signed you, but that's the nature of the game. It's not a great stat, but I think I've been on loan 3 times now, and 3 of the managers have been sacked, which is not brilliant. But I'm used to having to adapt, and you start from square one, and you have to fight for your place again. Having previously had loan stints at St Johnstone, Bromley and Leyton Orient in recent years, Mitchell has frequently been on the move and is glad to have his supportive parents travelling up and down the UK to watch him play. On adapting to life in Lincolnshire, he said, "To be honest, I moved out when I was young at 16. As soon as I finished my GCSEs, I've been living away from home for ages. My parents have followed me around the country and Scotland, and they've been a really good support system, and everyone in my circle has been brilliant with me. But I don't think it's been a problem adapting. It's a good experience as you meet different types of people, and you're not just in a bubble living in your hometown." Mitchell, who's been at Millwall since the age of 15, is also keeping an eye on his parent club and will be plotting ways to try and dazzle new boss Joe Edwards when he eventually returns to the Den. He said, "It's about trying to impress, try to be someone the manager can trust and who can play more games. It's a tricky one with a new manager. I don't think he's seen me. Hopefully I can break into the team, but I know what the game's like. I know when managers fancy you or don't fancy you. It's not personal in football, it's just the way it is." Mitchell has made 10 league appearances so far this season and scored 1 goal, a tidy close-range volley against Fleetwood. Highlights below, 9 seconds in. While most of League One takes this weekend off for the international break. Really? Is that many international players in League One now? Lincoln City will travel to Stevenage to take on Steve Evans's impressive side, who currently sit in the playoff positions. Lincoln are 9th, 4 points off the top 6. Mitchell, whose only senior appearance for Millwall was coming off the bench for 10 minutes against Cambridge United in the EFL Cup 2 years ago, says his favourite part of defending is riling up the crowd with crunching tackles. Hey! He added, "For defenders, if you win a big tackle and get the crowd up, it's like scoring a goal with the adrenaline you get. I think I had a couple of them against Oxford. I think that's the main thing for me. And if you can raise the fans' attitude, it can definitely steer the team on to get a win. And I'm not going to play that, but if you want to watch that, you can watch that. It's on YouTube." Talking of loans, what happened? So here we go with the Loanwatch, obviously being a Monday. Just two of Mill's 6 loanees tasted action over the past weekend. The only player to feature the full 90 minutes was Alex Mitchell, who was involved as Lincoln City lost 1-0 at Stevenage in Sky Bet League 1. Abdul Malik, meanwhile, was brought on for the final 13 minutes of Willstone's 1-0 loss at FC Halifax Town in the Vanarama National League, featuring in the play at both ends late on. His teammate and fellow loanee Carl Smith sat out the fixture through injury. Elsewhere, Chinockley missed Bromley's single goal success at home to AFC Fylde with a knock, whilst Nana Boateng's recovery from a broken foot continues during his loan spell at Woking. Joe Wright was an unused substitute as Salford City were beaten 3-1 at Gillingham in Sky Bet League 2. Two former Millwall men, Connor Mahoney and Matt Smith, were on target at Priestfield. So there you go, and these are the ones, injuries barring. The game's coming up, so obviously game tomorrow, Leyton Orient versus Lincoln City. If Joe Edwards there's one Joe Edwards can go to that. It's in Leyton Orient. Bromley are playing tomorrow, Tuesday night. So there you go, Loanwatch. Now moving from Loanwatch to International Lions, the second round of games. Many have been played, and you would not believe it. You would not believe it. Northern Ireland have won. They've won a game. Yes. So they beat Denmark 2-0 at home. I think it's the last game. I think everyone's had their last games now. I'm not too sure. Maybe not Israel. And George Saville did play again. He played 81 minutes. He got booked very early on. That probably put a dampener on his day. Rating of 6.72. So not the best, because a lot of players here got higher ratings. So he's actually way down the pecking order in terms of ratings. But like I said, he did get booked early on. He had one shot which was off target. He had 29 touches of the ball. Passing accuracy of 72.2, which is off of, where are we? So he had 18 passes. 2 long balls, 1 accurate. So there you go. George Saville there. Started the 2 games. The other game was captain. I assume they took it off him and gave it. I think that was just for that one game. It's 50th cap. He's on 51 caps now. So fair play to him. There he is, playing for Northern Ireland, and they won. So good stuff for him. Good stuff for George Saville. Now moving on to Romain Esse. Did he start the game? I can't remember. I'll have to watch my video back. I told you the other day the match report from the game the other day. So there's no. I don't know what's going on with the internet now. So the header has gone. What I can tell you is this said match report. England under 19s 3, Japan 2. Don't know why it's disappeared. So yeah, Romain Esse started the game, and he's in the match report. So the Young Lions are taking a 2-goal lead in the first half through Jacob Wright and Will Lancashire, only to be pegged back to 2-2 soon after the restart. But Simon Rusk's side ended strongly before Jamie Donnelly notched a late winner to keep the winning run going after their 6-0 triumph over Romania earlier this week. So there you go. I think Romain Esse was on the bench in that Romania game. Did he come on? So I remember saying he came on after all the goals were already scored. England started brightly and took the lead after 13 minutes when Romain Esse was brought down in the area. Oh my, don't injure our Romain Esse. After the good build up by England, Wright stepped up to slot the penalty to the goalkeeper. Nakamura Kesoji's left after a staggered run up did enough to send the keeper the wrong way. So there you go. Esse got fouled and we got a penalty, and then the penalty was scored. And then with Esse's not mentioned again until we come down to the teams. So they've got another game Tuesday night, 5 p.m. GMT time, but it's not being shown live. It's just a training game basically. Romain Esse, number 11, started the game, and he was subbed off. Well, like I said, it's training game, so they used all of the substitutes. He was subbed off. Where is he? For Leo Castledine on the 69th minute. So he played 69 minutes. So there you go. And for the England under 21s, we have Brooke Norton-Cuffy as an unused substitute in a 3-0 win away at Serbia. They've got a game Tuesday night as well, which is on. It's against Northern Ireland. It's at home. It's at Goodison Park. It is live on YouTube, so you can watch it on the FA's YouTube. You can watch it there. See if you get a game for them on that. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. They might rotate the squad because, no offense to Northern Ireland, but they are easier opposition, I assume, than Serbia. Although maybe they're not. Is the table up here? Yeah, they are a lot easier. They've only scored 2 goals and conceded 4. Although they're harder to break down than Serbia. So I would say they're harder. It's a harder game in a different way. Northern Ireland played 4 games, scored 2 goals, only conceded 4. Whereas Serbia played 4 games, won 2 of them, scoring 5 but conceding 13. So that won't be an easy game for England under 21s tomorrow. So let's see if they do rotate the squad and play Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Not only that, Saturday night, I believe it was Saturday night, live on BBC iPlayer. Wales, what did Wales do again? They won 1 away in Armenia. They've got a game on Tuesday against Turkey, so that will be on BBC iPlayer as well. Just go to Watch Live, go to channels. Go to TV Guide and go along the channels and go to S4C and then go to Watch Live. And do not be alarmed. You're not having a stroke. The commentary will be in Welsh. So yeah, you're not having a stroke. So in that 1-1 draw in Armenia, Tom Bradshaw, unused substitute. There you go. They obviously Turkey, a much tougher game. Probably not going to see Tom Bradshaw feature in that one unless there's some kind of injury concern in the Wales team. And there they go. I think that is a must-win game for them. Not only is it a must-win game, but then they need Croatia. Who Croatia got? Then they need Croatia to slip up when you think so Croatia must be playing either. Well, they got to be playing Armenia because Latvia looks like they played all their games. So yeah, it's a slim chance for Wales to qualify from that. And on that note, that is it for today. Thank you very much and goodbye.